Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you for checking out today's video. Today is a little bit of a different vibe. As you can see, we're back here in my new podcast area and I want to talk to you about that probably in another video because today I have a story for you. I'm sure a lot of you people have heard of car giveaways, car raffles, or waffles, and we'll get into that here in just one second. So a waffle is a raffle. I guess they do that to try and avoid like legal troubles, but either way, in most states it's illegal, and if it is legal, it usually requires like permits and all sorts of things to actually be able to raffle anything, let alone an expensive car. But one day I was scrolling Instagram and I came across a beautiful example of a Nissan Skyline GTST, and it was an R32. Beautiful two-door car. It was white, pristine condition. At the bottom of the picture, it said waffle. And I was like, I know what this is. Kept scrolling. And I know raffling can be good because say you have like a $500 intake for your car. You have a Camaro or an LS or whatever you got, you have a intake for it, right? And you paid 500 bucks for it. You want to sell that intake now on Facebook Marketplace. Well, you're going to be lucky if you get 200 for it. But if you raffle it, you go into a Chevy owners group or a Subaru owners group or whatever you bought the part for, and you say, hey guys, I have this intake. You know, I'm going to be selling tickets for $20 a piece for this intake. And you sell as much tickets as you need to get to that $500 mark. You don't want to make it too high because then people, aren't going to want to buy a ticket and they're like, they know you're screwing them over. But if you set the amount of tickets and the price per ticket to kind of equal what retail value is for the intake, usually that'll work and people will do it. But there's always scams involved in that stuff, and you got to be careful about it. I stumbled upon the Skyline and I scrolled past it, and the next day I see it again. And I'm like, man, that thing is so nice. I just don't think I want to get into this. I clicked on the Instagram page and there it was. There was pictures all over of this Skyline, and I'm looking at it from all angles. I was like, man, this thing is so clean. This thing looks so good. And I was like, I know it's not a GTR, but let me just see. So I go to the guy's like link in bio or whatever. It says, here's my PayPal, or I think it was Venmo, which just be careful. Venmo, Zelle, any of those. But it said $100 per entry. Send me $100 with the number that you want. And he had like a link, and it was like a spreadsheet that showed which numbers were still available. And I was like, there's 300 spots. That's a lot higher odds than like most scratch off tickets. And I was like, I don't know. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm not a gambler. I don't like gambling because I lose a lot of the time. And when I gamble, I just assume that the money's gone. And this was like the biggest gamble I'd ever taken. $100 is a lot of money to just throw away. And I was like, this money's probably gone. As soon as I send this money, I'm never going to have the car. I'm never going to see the money again. It's gone. And so I got ready for this, went through, looked at the page he had showing what numbers were still available. And I wanted number 13, that's my lucky number, but 13 was not available. And the next closest thing was 113. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I sent the guy 100 bucks. I sent him number 113, and that was that. I come back a couple days later, and I'm keeping tabs on it, and he's like, oh, there's 120 spots left. Oh, there's 40 spots left. Oh, there's 20 spots left. And I'm like, oh my God, we're getting down to the wire. And I was like, no, I'm not going to win nothing. It's whatever. I'm not winning anything. And he announced on his Instagram that there was going to be a live drawing in like 2 days or whatever once the spots were full. And he's encouraging people, you can buy more than one, listing. And I'm like, no. I'm like, nope, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It was tempting, but I was like, I'm not going to do it. He says like 2 days later, it must have worked because 2 days later, he's like, we got all the spots filled. We got all 300 spots. Thank you guys for participating. We're going to have our live drawing on Instagram tomorrow night at 6 p.m. And I'm like, awesome. Home from work, I eat dinner, and I'm sitting on the couch getting ready to watch his Instagram live. And next thing you know, he's live. And here he is recording, and you don't see his face. You don't see anything, just the computer screen. And all that's on there is a wheel, like a spinning wheel. And he goes, all right, guys, are you ready? He's like, we're going to go ahead and spin the wheel. And he clicked the button on the mouse, spins the wheel, and the thing is going and going and going and going and going and going and stopped. 113. I sunk into the couch with excitement. I was so freaking hyped. I was like, oh my God, he just pulled my number for this guy. I just won a Skyline. Oh my God, I'm gonna put it on the YouTube channel. It's gonna be insane. And I'm freaking out. I'm in the chat. I'm like, let's go, and everyone's like, oh man, better luck next time. Oh, I didn't get it, whatever. And everyone's freaking out because he just spun the wheel. And he goes, all right, so now you guys see how it works. Our test spin's over. We're gonna spin it for real this time. And he clicks it again. Oh my God, I was like, what? I'm like, hold on, I'm in the chat, and I'm like, bro, you can't, wait, hold on, you can't do that. You just spun and landed on my number. And as soon as I, like, bing, I send my message, and it's just gone. There's so many people in the live chat spamming it that, like, every message I send just keeps going. I'm like, hello, yo, wait, that's my number. Wait, I just won. And he just keeps going and going. And I backed out of the live, went to his DMs, and I'm like, bro, you didn't say you were doing a practice spin. You just said, let's go spin. And you spun and hit my number. I won fair and square. And like I sent him like 3 messages, and I go back to the live, and he's like, there it is. Congratulations, the number, whatever. And I don't remember what the number was, but I was so hot. I'm like, oh my God, dude, no, that is me. And so I'm in the comments again. I'm like spamming. I'm like, whatever. I go to bed that night, and I was like, you know what? Tomorrow morning, he's probably going to make a congratulations post to the winner, and I'm just going to go in there and go off on him. And I'm not a sore loser, but I should have won that car. And so I'm like, this is BS. I go to his page, and I can't find it. And I wish I would have taken screenshots and pictures and whatever, because there's pictures of the car with the license plates on it, and I never screenshotted those pictures. I never screenshotted the account. So I went back to the messages. My message was there. He viewed it, but when I click on his page, it said no post. It's 0 posts. He still had a bunch of followers, 0 posts. And there was no profile picture, no nothing, just everything's gone. Before I entered the raffle or waffle, I even looked through this guy's Instagram page, and like he's got old pictures of the Skyline before he listed it up for raffle. And even before then, he had, I think, pictures like an old Celica that he had before the Skyline and stuff. I was like, this was like a legit page. And it built a little bit of trust with me, and maybe it shouldn't have. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. I messaged the guy again, and it never like delivered or nothing. And I was like, what the hell? Next thing you know, it's just gone. Like I'm blocked from the guy's account, and I'm like, maybe I'm just blocked. So I went on a buddy's phone and looked it up, nothing. And I couldn't even find the account, and he deleted it, erased it, everything's gone. So not only did I not win the Skyline, I think the winner that he picked didn't win the Skyline either. So this guy got $100 per entry, or 300 entries, 30 grand the guy made. That's great if he was going to sell his Skyline. That might have only been worth 25 for a R32 GTST at the time. I'd see him on Marketplace going for between like 20 and 25 pretty frequently. So he's getting a little more than market value by going through the trouble of raffling it, etc. And I was like, you know what? That's cool. Someone's going to win the car. He's going to get the... No. I don't think anybody won that car. And so I'm throwing caution to the wind. Fun little story about why you should stay away from car raffles and waffles. And it don't matter what you call it. It's not safe. I don't recommend it. Just be careful out there. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys have had experiences like this, if you've ever entered a raffle or some kind of giveaway where you just sent cold hard cash. You know, I know about the giveaways where you buy merchandise and stuff, and those kind of make sense, but yeah, I mean, just throwing money into the wind. So if you have any stories like this or any stories of you being scammed for car parts or cars, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear them and talk about them with you there. But this is my new podcast area. As you guys can see, I'm actually in the garage. That's the garage door behind me. So new setup, new idea. A lot of people in my last video when I said about YouTube ruining my life, they told me don't give up, don't quit. So this is me being me, real here in front of the camera. I'm not working on cars right now until I get another car that is worth working on, and I'll go back to making videos like that. But for now, this is a fun little way for me to talk to you guys and stay on the platform. And so yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. And until then, cheers.